Right, Welton with a load of Bulldust. Thank you.
Hands up those who know what Bulldust is. You may think you know what Bulldust is, but I will tell you what Bulldust is. Bulldust is a fine talcum powder-like substance that is found in outback Australia. It looks hard and smooth, but really contains deep, nasty holes. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests. Bulldust is not just an Australian phenomenon. It can be found anywhere and everywhere in the world. You will need to listen to dictators, politicians, armed forces, advertising to realise that Bulldust, which looks smooth and fine on top, contains a lot of deep, dark holes. Lewis Carroll had it right when he put into Humpty Dumpty's words, when I use a word, it means just what I chose it to mean, neither more nor less. Now, before I get into examples of Bulldust, I've got a public health warning. I once put my hand up to go on grumpy old men, and they turned me down. You know what?
Too grumpy.
I was too grumpy. Let's look at the military. Friendly fire! i.e., you are killed by somebody on your side. One of your allies blows up your tank with you in it, and they say sorry. Where's the friendliness in that? Weapons of mass destruction, mustard gas, seeds and spores of deadly viruses, i.e., we should go and give Iraq a good smacking, and let's think of a good excuse. Examples. Politics. We could be here for days on politics. Don't speak noxious emissions, Bulldust, that the parliaments, the United Nations and the world's governments pour out daily. We will not stand by and see these massacres, these ethnic cleansing, these starvations and these massacres and rapes to carry on. We will send an envoy who will make a lot of notes and smack them on the wrist and say, don't do that. Bulldust. The media. A source close to whatever says, blah, 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 blah. Here's the goss, because we can't get at the truth. Let's muddy the waters. Freedom fighters. Freedom fighters are people who are fighting against a government that we don't like. Terrorists. People who are fighting a government we do like. Bulldust. I could go on about the church, but some people would find it offensive, so I won't. But when you hear the name Christian Brothers, you really have to think. Leaders of totalitarian regimes. There's a pile of Bulldust. Under a free and open election, we are being returned to power by a massive majority. Mugabe being the present exponent of that particular philosophy. There is an endless list of places and people and media and goodness knows what that is covered in acres of Bulldust. What are we going to do about it? You have, I have, a Bulldust detector, and it resides between our ears. And it feeds well on taking a grain of salt with everything. We don't don't use it often enough because I think most of the time we are swimming against the current so that we are not driven down the gurgling plug hole of life. We just try to survive. But one of the things that stuck with me from my days in the army was this. Somebody would say, okay guys, get switched on. Now get switched on is a state of mind that is at the highest. It's a peak performance. It means you've got a live round up the barrel, a full magazine, and the safety's off and you're moving across rough country. It's not something that you can maintain for any great length of time, but it's an experience and something that you should use whenever you are confronted by news, advertising, the government, etc., etc., etc. It was just recently stated that in the last year, 220,000 Victorians were caught out in scams. This figure is probably incorrect because there's an awful lot more people out there who are too embarrassed to admit otherwise. Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared to get switched on. Use what you've got between your ears and avoid those dangerous stretches of Bulldust.